take that time to slow down and take a full day at least to just really get back in my body and remember why I'm doing this. What is my big why? Man, that the next day I am there. I am going 110 miles an hour.
Emily, so for those who don't know you, I want to have a little summary of your life in general, where you come from and how you end up here in Haiti, and yeah.
Awesome. So my name is Emily Dawn Bauman, and my artist name is Amanacer, which is my middle name Dawn, translated into Spanish, but then with a misspelling. So I can tell you all about that as well. I was born in Canada, in a small town outside Toronto, and then I was born to very adventurous parents, and they decided to move our whole family to Haiti in the early 90s. And it was a very unstable time politically in the country, but nonetheless, I found myself adapting to Port-au-Prince, learning Creole. I was very young, and so thankfully it was an easy transition for me in some ways, just to have two homes, and I learned how to be Canadian and Haitian. And the thing that allowed me to transition was really art. Painting since the age of 10 years old, and oil, and learning to basically adapt to my environment and make it a part of my own self by painting, by dancing folklore and all of those things. So I came back permanently to live in Haiti in 2015 to make Amanacer art the focus of my life.
Yeah.
And that way I get to work with other people and inspire their creativity as well.
Wow, beautiful.
And my art name, Amanacer, when I was 10 and I saw all my mom's friends were artists and they had cool art names and Tinu, Tiga, and I said, me too, I want to have an artist name. So I was like, Mama, how do I translate my middle name into Spanish? She's like, Amanacer, Amanecer, Amanecer, sounds good. I wrote it with an A, A-M-A, and A-C-E-R. And if you speak Spanish, you know that that's a misspelling.
Yeah.
But I didn't find out until 10 years later.
Wow.
At a friend's wedding in Chile. I presented them with this big painting as a gift, and then the husband pulled me aside. He's like, but you know there's like a typo, right? And I was like, oh no!
Wow, I didn't know that.
But it was all meant to be. It was the universe taking care of me, because Amanacer means the soul that loves to be born.
Wow, beautiful.
So it was meant to be, so it's the creativity always rebirthing itself in myself, and that allows me to take on this role of creative catalyst.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I see that most of your paintings are representing like mermaids and everything. What's up with mermaids?
What's up with mermaids? So, as you can imagine, growing up, I'm blonde, blue-eyed, and so people don't look at me and say, oh, she's Haitian. They don't assume I have anything in my identity. So si yo tan embali Creole cabeza, then they know. But for me, mermaids are a symbol of that freedom, freedom from questioning, freedom from identity. When I'm swimming in the ocean, I feel free to travel anywhere, and I can just imagine what it would be like to go anywhere around the world in the ocean without a passport, without anyone asking me, where do you belong, where are you from? People just see the sovereignty of a mermaid, the passion, and that sense of beauty that is totally owned. And no matter where you go in the world, the mermaid represents that sensual feminine power, and I love that. So for her, for many years, I would paint mermaids instead of painting self-portraits. So whatever the mermaid was doing in the painting stood in for me. And eventually I got more brave, and I was able to start painting portraits of women and myself in a spirit portrait form.
Yeah.
But mermaids are always this home for me.
Wow, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. So I saw that you mentioned also like through your work you inspire people to be more creative. Why creativity is so important in your life?
I think that I see the power of creativity in everybody, a lot of people have it repressed in various forms. And it matters because when we unleash our creativity, it creates a sense of wealth and richness and joy that impacts every single area of our lives. So if you take 10, 15 minutes a day to do creative writing or drawing or building models or, I don't know, playing your guitar and expressing yourself creatively, the rest of the day, you're gonna have an extra spark. You're gonna have an extra je ne sais pas. It's gonna be a better day when you allow your brain to go into that creative state, and it's like a rest and a joy. So for me, it comes quite naturally. That flow is turned on all the time, full time, pretty much. And I just want to see more and more people have that experience because through my work, doing 3-hour workshops, on the other side of that, people just find, they rediscover their creative birthright, and it was waiting there the whole time.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. But sometimes, like, you have problems sometimes that you feel less creative than others.
Absolutely.
So what's a kind of, let's say, routine or ritual that you practice to be able to re-put yourself, realign yourself with that creative state?
So you can take a scientific approach if that turns you on and that really resonates with you, to understand that you have to switch into alpha brain waves, and you have to switch from your left and right brain, and you have to adjust the hemispheres and the way your mind is working. So some things that I really like to do is take a shower and just cleanse off my day or cleanse off the way that I was thinking, and then I reconnect with my body. And I do that through, I turn on some really loud, awesome music that's getting me going, and I do kind of a full body massage with oils, starting at my feet, working all the way up. And then I do this windmill move where you alternately touch your left and right foot, and so you're doing this stretching, and it's reconnecting the hemispheres of your brain, and the synapses are firing a little differently after you do it 30 times. And then I move into eating something absolutely delicious. So I'll have a bowl of fresh mangoes, and then you're like, this is so good. And it's basically about having as much pleasure and as much embodied experiences as you can handle. And then I'll sit down in front of my computer or my journal and I'll write. Or then I'll go in front of my canvas. Or then I will do whatever it is that I need to get done creatively that day. But that's just one pathway that I can take to fire up my creativity and get it going again.
That's awesome.
And anyone can do it. Anyone listening, you can follow this simple pathway.
Yeah. Because we had talked about this like probably a week ago about that movement going down, and I've been trying to do it every day, and it actually pretty much works, Even activate yourself physically. This is something that can help.
Absolutely.
Also, depending on who you are and what you do.
Yes.
So I have another question for you. Lately, I know it always changes, but lately, what's the core value that you stand for?
Healing. I find that healing and giving are two core values that resonate with me. And it's about creating a life in which I can help heal other people's connection to their own creativity and give as much of my honest self as I can and make my life an example of that healing, so that other people can be like, oh, there's something there. Maybe it's for me as well.
Wow. Okay. Super interesting. I have another question that is totally probably out of the
hit me.
way, but it's something I'm interested to know in everyone, How do you best connect with others? What the type of topics that excite you the most to actually talk about, or,
I love talking with people about their own self-realization, their own evolution, their own growth, because I feel like people spend a lot of time having superficial conversations about politics, about what's going on, about facts. And I want to talk about the juicy stuff that's going on underneath. And so what really gets me excited is when people share stories, and specifically stories about their journey, and then we can relate to each other on a different level. Even if it's just hardship, or even if it's just something they're going through. It doesn't have to be positive or hilarious, and it's not about one-upping each other and my story is more dramatic than yours. It's just deep sharing from deep human experiences, and then I'm there for it.
Wow, amazing. Another thing that is important, that I think is something so important to keep you in that flow state, is gratitude. So sometimes to express it towards others, there's probably different ways. So how do you express your gratitude towards other people?
I'm notorious for leaving voice notes. I'll just think about a friend or someone I love and just feel this bubbling, overflowing, and I just have to tell them immediately. So I'll leave a 1 minute, 2 minute voice note, just be like, listen, I was thinking about you and how much I appreciate this part of your spirit, and I'm so grateful you're in my life, and I just see you and I adore you. And so that's one way that I show gratitude for sure, and also just trying to show up for people. If they're having an event or if they're going through something, just physically being there, I think means a lot. But I'm in a lifestyle where so many people I love live around the world. I have family in Bali, I have close family in Portugal, in Canada, people I love in New York and Miami, and I'm here living in Haiti. So that's why voice notes and just kind of dropping those love bombs, it seems to also have an impact, because when you hear someone's voice, it's a lot more real than a text, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yesterday, we both had a day spent for ourselves to, I don't know how to say that, to refuel, you know? So, why do you think it's important to have these kind of moments from time to time?
I think that taking time outs are the most productive thing we can do. I truly believe that it's time to realize we have to slow down in order to speed up. And the more that you take these slow moments where you zoom out and you reflect and you see where you are and you appreciate everything and you just get a massage and you just sit in nature and you write and you talk with people that you love and you don't try and do anything quote unquote productive, this is actually the secret sauce to making you be able to accomplish more and be more effective and be more present in everything that you want to do the rest of the week, the rest of the month. So it's counterintuitive, and I know that I myself find that I might have a tendency when I have a huge to-do list and a big product launch or an art show coming up, I'll hunch over and I'll physically see myself hunching over and trying to crunch down and dig in and get it done. When in fact, if I just take that time to slow down and take a full day at least to just really get back in my body and remember why I'm doing this. What is my big why? Man, that the next day, I am there. I am going 110 miles an hour.
Wow.
So anyone can use that trick. Shout out to my coach, Sammy Fleming in Australia for the original slow down to speed up tagline, because it freaking works.
Wow.
It's so productive.
That's amazing. So you mentioned that you have a kind of mentor in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had a mentor for a while now, or it's been?
It's been 6 months, and honestly, it's the most important investment I've ever made in myself, in my life, because first of all, nobody accomplishes great things without a coach. I mean, Tony Robbins has a coach. Serena Williams has 3 coaches. It doesn't matter if you're on the top of your game, you need that outside perspective, that mirror, and people who see you and are experts in the field to reflect it back to you and get you even better at whatever you want to do, right? So who am I not to need a coach? Of course I need a coach. So Sammy is a wonderfully grounding presence. She gives me amazing questions. We speak every 2 weeks, and they're conversations that I hold on to forever, and whatever she says is just like gold nuggets of treasure that I can keep mining, you know?
Wow.
So I'm super grateful for her, and it took me about a year of wanting a coach to actually say, yes, I deserve this. So I encourage everybody listening to find someone, whether it's an informal mentor or a professional life coach, who you can rely on.
Wow, I definitely can relate to that. And what's your approach to for anyone that doesn't know how to find a coach, or what do you think like is most important in finding a coach? What do you think like is the steps to take, or either the best way for you to find your perfect coach?
So I think you can go on dates with coaches in a sense. You can go on Instagram and there's going to be hundreds of options. You can look at the hashtag coaching. You can do any kind of internet search. You can ask friends who they're coached by. But Instagram is a great resource because so many coaches go there to express their offerings. And then coaches always have this 15-minute free call. So you can see if you vibe with them or not. So you basically just schedule a Skype conversation or an in-person conversation if they're in your city, and then you see if it's a good fit.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome.
And it's exciting, it's daring, because you're investing in yourself and you're declaring I'm worth it, which is so powerful, right?
Totally. Wow. So where do people can find you to actually see your art, to actually see your energy in a way, because any kind of post that you do, everything, it reflects perfectly the way that you think, the way that you want to go with your life. So it's super interesting
thank you.
for people to follow that.
So my online home is a website called amanacer.ca, AMANACER.ca, because Canadian. So that's where you'll find the latest photo shoots I've done, the latest videos, the latest workshops, events coming up, all kinds of events and things like that. And of course, Instagram is a platform that I really connect with, and I enjoy sharing my stories and tidbits on it. And that's amanacer_art.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
So to finish up, what would be the best advice that you can give that comes up to your head right now?
Oh my goodness. Whew. I would say that I would wish for everyone to believe that they have a creative birthright inside of them that is worth lighting on fire, turning on, and completely giving time to, so that it can create wealth and joy for themselves, for their families, for everyone around them, and just keep playing with that.
Wow, awesome.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, sister.
This was so
Thank
fun.
you. Yeah, thank you.